Suddenly, without warning, a helicopter hovering overhead opened fire.
But the trouble is, LSD is here. And what are we going to do about it? Should we pass a law against fire?
Hello everybody and welcome to the dark history of Mexico. And in this video we're going to talk about the darkest moments inside Mexican history. So without further ado, here's the video. The CONASUPO irradiated milk. CONASUPO, also known as the Compañía Nacional de Substancias Populares, distributed over 40,000 liters of irradiated milk to children, causing mass cancer rates and death rates amongst children. It all began in 1986 after the Chernobyl explosion, which released a lot of radioactive clouds over Ireland. And Ireland, seeing that all of their milk was contaminated, decided to sell this milk to third world countries despite knowing the risk of this milk. And one company who took advantage of this discount was CONASUPO. CONASUPO, after taking all of this milk, would distribute it to people in Mexico. They would sell it to companies like Nestle, Kraft Food, Yakult, and many others. And arriving in the port of Veracruz, all of this milk would be sold to these companies at a massive profit. As a result, many children started to drink this irradiated milk that came from Ireland, and in the following years, between 1988 and 1992, hundreds of children would develop cancer. As well, death rates and illnesses increased at a rapid rate in Mexico. As well, childbirth rates deformities would also occur at an alarming rate. And after post-analysis of the milk by authorities, they discovered that the milk contained a high amount of cesium-137 and strontium-90, which caused a syndrome that destroyed cell membranes, which caused all of these problems. Today, it is unclear if any CONASUPO milk remains in Mexico. Los Halcones. Los Halcones stands for Falcon in Spanish, and they were a paramilitary group funded by the Mexican military to kill and murder students during the 1971 protests. It all began on June 10, 1971, and students of the Los Nuevos University were protesting against the government's authoritarian rule. But the government released Los Halcones, their trained members who were also trained by the CIA, who went in and beat the students with batons. In response, the students pushed back the Los Halcones members and kicked them away. However, the government supplied Los Halcones members with high-caliber rifles, and they began shooting into the crowd. Hundreds of students were killed, and Los Halcones members would even enter hospitals and gun down students who have taken refuge into these hospitals. The events of the 1971 protests would accumulate to the Mexican Dirty War, where the Mexican government reinforced its authoritarian rule and was funded by the Mexican and the United States military. They were supplied weapons and lots of resources to kidnap what they believed were communists inside Mexico and lock them into torture centers. This was one of the darkest moments in Mexican history. The Zihuatanejo Project. The Zihuatanejo Project was an LSD paradise founded by Timothy Leary. He believed that you could achieve reincarnation through your own body through the use of LSD. He began the project in Hotel Catalina in Mexico, where he had about 20 students who would take LSD and induce mass hallucinations. However, this was not enough, and he invited over hundreds of students from the United States to come to the hotel and take LSD with him. And when it was discovered that Mexico was a vacation destination to take LSD, while Mexican authorities quickly shut down Hotel Catalina and threw everyone who was part of the project away and deported them back to the United States. The Mexican Castaway. The Mexican Castaway was an El Salvadorian fisherman who disappeared off the coast of Mexico in 2012. He was part of an expedition called Los Tibeneros, also known as the Shark Hunters. On November 17, 2012, he and an inexperienced fisherman departed the coast of Mexico. But soon, they found themselves without an engine as their engine gave up during a storm, and they were left to fend for themselves in the ocean. For the next 6 months, they would try to feed themselves off of birds who would land on their ship, as well as fish they would catch with their bare hands. It was so incredibly difficult to catch fish or even birds with their bare hands that they would eat or drink every 3 days and almost dying on multiple occasions. But after 6 months, his partner would die. His body would turn purple, and Jose would begin hallucinating and begin talking to the corpse. He asked the corpse, "¿Cómo está la muerte?" of which he hallucinated the corpse telling him, "Buene, es pacifico." For the next 6 months, Jose contemplated suicide as he wanted to kill himself every day. But because of his Christian faith, he believed that he needed to stay alive and kept hope. And 6 months after, he was eventually rescued after surviving over 438 days in the ocean and traveling over 7,000 kilometers on a boat without an engine. He was eventually sent back to his family, of which they cried as they believed that he was dead. The 141. The 141 refers to the 141 journalists who were killed in Mexico at the start of the 21st century. And since 2000, all 141 journalists were killed by the cartel or other activities. Journalism, even since the rule of Porfirio Diaz, is one of the most dangerous jobs in Mexico. And to understand it, we have to look at the death of Alejandro Martinez, who was killed on June 27, 2024. On June 27, 2024, Alejandro Martinez, traveling with 2 bodyguards, was shot and killed by 2 unknown assailants. These assailants are known to be, or are suspected to be, members of the Mexican cartel. Alejandro Martinez was known for reporting on crimes and cartel activities all across Mexico, and previously he had received a death threat. But even with police supervision and protection, he was killed. It shows that even the authorities can't even protect its own journalists from crime and violence. As well, many Mexican journalists who try to flee the country to continue on their reportings, well, are often deported back to Mexico and sent and killed by the cartel. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. I hope it was not too heavy for you guys. And yeah, please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. It does take a lot of effort. I don't know if you see my black eyes from the research. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and a follow, and I'll see you in the next video.